Welcome back to Djinns Treasure. I am the host. My name is Connor Larkin. I am in California. I grew up here. I'm right outside the house where I grew up right now. Today, 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 today it starts. It continues really, right? Because I have started. I have somewhat of a following. A lot of wire wrapping videos. And today I do this live. I think I did it right where I titled this feed, this live, this video, titled, "What do you want?" And so it is. What do you want? What do you want from me? What do the people want? I'm trying to figure out why I titled it that, and I mean I know why. What I'm trying to figure out is how to connect it because it's so deep. I'm just somewhat of a deep individual, deep thinker. I always have been, even as a child. So what do you want? And what inspired this is I had quite an incredible day today, and I couldn't stop trying to just give and give and give and give more and push it to the limit. Push it to the point where I'm giving so much that I start to be like, you shouldn't be giving. You gotta take care of yourself too. I tried to find that like defining line and go right up to it before crossing over, before I was giving too much. And the thing is that it just kept coming back to me. And so I had an incredible day at the markets. So that's what I do. I wire wrap and I'm at the markets. And I have a neighbor who is at the markets as well. We'll call him. I hope I don't say his name. I hope it don't slips. But if it does, my bad. We'll call him Mr. K. Mr. K is he's another crafter, and he's always struggling, and he'll be the first to let you know that he didn't make any sales, right? And kind of just has this general look on life, that it's not working, acceptance that it's just not gonna work, and well, he does ask for help, and that's the big thing for me is that as much as I would love to stop and help every individual, some people can't be helped. Some people don't want to be helped. And so it's important to wait for the invitation. If there's no invitation, there's no reason for you to overstep your boundaries and overstep their boundaries, because then it's intrusive. You're not helping anyone. You're the only one you're helping is your own ego. That's not helping. That's not really what you want to be doing if you really want to be helping, because otherwise you're an asshole. So Mr. K, he does ask for help. I mean, we talk all the time, and he looks at me and he says, "Hey, so what's the secret to your success?" And he asks me all the time. He's always picking my brain, and I give him answers. I give him my thoughts, things like to me that are quite obvious. Things like respecting your art, respecting your product. What he'll do is he'll bring out all of his inventory, everything, more stuff than he really shouldn't have that much stuff on his table. And I mentioned that to him, but he still does it. And his philosophy on that, or his reasoning is that, what if the piece that I leave at home is the piece that's going to get sold? And it's like, well, you're never going to know. Like, you don't know what's going to get sold. It's the market. It's out of your control. And so he said, okay, cool. What else? What else you got? And I say, okay, well, the other thing that I know is because you have so much stuff, you also have allowed some of your some of your products, some of your inventory to be displayed on the ground because it's overflowing on the table. You have stuff hanging everywhere. You have stuff on the table, and now you have stuff off the table on the ground. And to me, I look at that and I see somebody disrespecting their own product, and I respect the product less. I respect the artist less. Actually, I didn't tell him that I don't. I didn't say that about the artist. I said that I respect the. Maybe I did. I don't know. Maybe I was kind of harsh on him, but I don't know. Appropriately harsh. I told. Okay, I remember now. I said that it's looks like the guy doesn't give a shit, and if he doesn't give a shit, then why should I? And that's how I said it. It was blunt and crude, and right to the point. And he said, "Okay, well, that's good." He handled it well. He didn't argue or anything. He said, all right, that's good." And then I look at a piece and I tell it's for 70, and I say that's not enough. It needs to be 100. He says, "Okay, okay." So the next time I see him, nothing's changed. Oh, the other one too was the one for me is that his setup is kind of more like a defensive castle, and he's inside. He's the one man inside the castle, and everything else is like the display on the outwards. It's all projected outwards. And what I was suggesting is that you need to create a flow where somebody comes inside. Somebody comes inside your canopy, your little space. You have two tables on either side, and then you're kind of back in the way, like waiting for somebody, inviting somebody in. And he said, "Okay, okay, that's good." And so yeah, next time I see him, nothing's changed. It's all the same. The one thing is that he did change the price for that one painting, but despite my request for 100, he put it at 75. So I found a really good opportunity or excuse for myself to take this personal because he neglected everything that I just said, even though he said, "Okay, that's good advice." And so this is kind of this dance where it's become, he's still asking me for good advice. He's still seeing that I have a flow about it. The way that I interact with people, and one of the things, the philosophy that I have is like, half of my product or all of my product, I am my product. I am my first line of defense, or that's not right. It doesn't mean defensive. It's not like warlike. But in the negotiations, I'm the face, So I have to, part of my sale is to be this approachable person who's can do like the warming them up to the sale, showing them what I have, but also beyond that, making a connection. And for me, what I see is that I need to make sure that whoever comes to my table is seen. So, if I get the opportunity, if it seems appropriate, I'll have enough conversation where I'm comfortable to say, like, "Hey, what's your name?" Ryan or Mark or Susan or Janice. I don't know. Whoever. Yeah, everybody. And, I want to remember that name and use it throughout the conversation to remind them that I see them. "Hey, Janice, I see you. Mark, I acknowledge that you exist. You are a part of my existence." And I think that people just want to be seen. That's part of the feelings of being loved, is to feel like you're seen and therefore somewhat understood. I mean, it all goes into like there's different layers to it, right? So first and foremost, to be seen, and then understood on a more depth or a more intimate level of connection or relationship with anybody, right? Yeah, and yeah. So that's how and I've been at the markets for over a year now, and I never thought I'd see the day where I've accumulated regulars, because I sell jewelry. It's like you're gonna buy the jewelry, you get the pendant one time, and then you can wear it whenever you want. You don't need another pendant. But lo and behold, people are into it. People like to like be like, this is the jewelry that I wear. This is Djinns Treasure jewelry. I wear Djinns Treasure jewelry. I have the ring, I have the earrings, I have the pendant. um and that's amazing. That's, for me as an artist, like that's like overfilling the cup of abundance to like my soul, or like, what I need. The whole petty thing of or like the vulnerability of an artist is like they need the approval and the acknowledgement, and just what I'm saying, we need to be seen. And I think that we understand that on a deep level as artists. And so I found a way that of like the aha moment that, like, you okay, all of, the universe, all of life, what it is, our existence and everything, it's all, when it comes down to like the universal oneness or God, or like what it all is. And it's just that everything is just a reflection. Everything, there's the old saying, as above so below, so within so without, and so within and so without, and so within and so without. So within my, what I'm feeling on the inside is also relevant to what I'm seeing on the outside, and what you are, as part of my external existence. And that's the same thing for everybody. And we're all just reflections of each other, right? So if I, as an artist, crave more than, maybe not more than anything, but, true nurturing my soul would be to see me, right? And then to understand me is just like, oh, the cherry on top. So I want to make sure that it's like, that's my goal at the table. That's my job, is to not make sure I get it to each and every person, because that would be insane. That would drive everybody crazy. It would be a spectacle, and not in a good way. But to do what I can, to accept the people's, to wait for the invitation, accept that some people will come to my table, some won't. Some people who come to my table don't want to talk, they just like to look, and that's okay too. And some people are okay with conversation, and they're not interested in buying anything. And that's the key. That's the pivotal moment for me defining myself as the artist and not the salesman. Okay, so I don't have the sale, but I have this precious moment, this opportunity to exist, and to acknowledge somebody else, that they exist, right? And I mean, the woo woo fact of the matter is, that's what namaste is. That's the true definition of namaste, is the divine within me acknowledges the divine within you. I don't know. I might have got the wording right, but, or incorrect, but you get the point. So that's what I want to deliver to each and every individual, that there is an opportunity for it. So imagine me trying to explain all of this to Mr. K, who at one point, I asked him, do you ever consider yourself a hippie back in the day? And I guess I could have phrased it better, because what I was getting at is what I consider to be a hippie. Like myself, I consider myself to be a hippie, in the sense that, like, dangle hanging from my rear view mirror in my car. I got these. Well, get a better look. See, I got my crystals, right? Typical. And I got a bit of a hippie-ish lifestyle, the way I see it. I don't need a lot, and for me, maybe too much information, but I believe that there is such a thing as over cleanliness. So, well, within reason, like, fucking shower, okay? Everybody needs to shower. Um, but we're getting off topic. What I'm saying is that, in my head, what I'm defining as a hippie is like the spiritual aspect, like finding some kind of faith, right? And I didn't really define that right. So he went off on like, oh yeah, man, I had my great hippie adventure days. I had the long hair, I had the motorcycle, and drinking beer on the beach and surfing. And I was just like, whoa, Mr. K, not what I meant, not what I meant. I'm talking about, And then I went into like the spiritual, and like, I don't want to assume that that you're open to. I'm not trying to convert you or anything, but I'm just curious, what do you have? And he's, nothing, has no faith. And it's like, fuck, all right, that's okay. That's okay. But, and yeah, it's okay for people to do that, and that's their choice. And what happens to me, or what happened to me when I heard that, is I understood exactly what the issue is with the sales. There's no belief. There's no faith. There's well, it's kind of like that book of the book The Secret, right? With the manifesting, and you put your mind into it and your intention, and you have to discipline your mind to have like those intentional thoughts of prosperity and stuff, and visualization and all that yada yada. Well, the thing is that magic trick, it's like, if you don't believe it, you're okay, fine. You don't have to believe it, but still have good thoughts, because it's, whether you believe it or not, it's still a magic trick, and it still is working. Whether you believe it or not, it's the magic that exists, right? And it's the power of our mind, and it's the power of setting intentions. And if you're coming to the market a little bit drunk, and you forgot your stuff. Yes, I am talking about you, Mr. K. You forgot your setup, but you still had enough paintings, and you just threw them out on the table and threw them on the ground, threw all your car keys and your glasses and all your stuff on top of your paintings. You, I had to humble you. I had to tell you how disrespectful you are. I mean, at one point, all right, I'll just tell you guys the story now. Is that at one point I was just trying to find, what could I do? How could I get this guy to know that I see him, and I don't know, find some kind of comfort or trust in something, because it was just all, he didn't have any faith. He you know he didn't give a shit because he didn't have any faith. He said, fuck it, what's the point? And that's the attitude that fucked him up. Yep. So I tried my best to help him, and then I got to that realization for myself, kind of. I started to realize that I can't help him. There's nothing I can do. And then I thought, uniquely enough, I did put this one crystal in my pocket today, and it seemed to be doing me pretty good. So maybe I should give it to him and let him hold on to it and see if he gets any success. And I mean, sure enough, he got like a very small sale, and he sold himself short. His choice and whatever. And it went on. And I continued to watch as, I think at one point he was eating it, and he started spilling his stuff all over his product, and it drove me crazy. And I said, enough, I want my crystal back. I can't trust you. I can't, I want my crystal to be safe, and I can't count on you because you don't care about anything. I had to tell him that so that he would understand. And it was, it was the same where it's just like, he just says like, okay, okay. But it's not, he's just not listening. It's the same. And then he's still asking me the same questions. Now, I don't know if this is an extreme case. I think perhaps it is. There's a high possible chance that this Mr. K is actually going through an experience of shock, because he's on his last days. He's dying of cancer. That is true. So, knowing that, now do you think it's all fucked up what I was saying about him? Yeah. I don't know. I feel good about telling the truth. It's something that just weighed heavy on my mind, and I don't know. I'm doing this live now, I guess, to kind of, I don't know who else to talk to about it. That's not true. There's plenty of people in my life that I have to talk to about stuff. Everybody has somebody to talk to. That's true. Even if you like are trying to fool yourself into believing that there's nobody for you, like there's still, like, even if it's a goddamn stranger, somebody will listen, no matter who you are. Like that's like something in our DNA as humans. It's like a fail-safe. Probably is. I mean, evolutionarily, like, we are built to thrive and survive only with each other. But yeah, so this rant was probably more just medicinal for me, if anything. But I wanted to just put it out there and I guess kind of get back in touch with my channel, with my viewers, with you guys, and whoever else is out there listening or will be listening one day. I'll be back. Basically, I guess check in with where I'm at with my life. Yeah, I've been busy with the markets, and that's not an excuse for why I've been not around for you guys. Um, I am moving to Chicago at the end of this month. So in about 2 weeks, I will be completely resituated with my life and just basically stepping into a whole new life of I have no idea. And that's, for me at this point, I'm so close now. I've been thinking about it for so long. I'm so excited for it because it's such a good opportunity for me to just start to do everything with an intention. Have have a completely new discipline. Be able to start from scratch. It's awesome. Um, and part of that being um, no longer neglecting my YouTube channel. I do want this channel to grow. I want you guys to get to know me a little bit too. I'm trying. I know I have a lot of wire wrap videos, and that's probably what like most of you guys are following me for and are into. Um, but I want it to be like a whole human experience, right? How about that? Like a virtual human experience, and get to know me if you want, or you know, whatever. I do a lot of dumb stuff on camera, or say a lot of dumb things. Definitely, like it kind of makes me a little bit blue or white even in the face. That's funny. That's not funny. Um, but like some of the things I've said in the past, or like when I was just more thirsty, or not even necessarily thirsty, a little bit thirsty for like the attention on Instagram, getting on the shorts, or not YouTube, for the shorts, and like reaction videos, and just going for stuff that I knew was gonna get views, even though it was trash content. And I even at the time knew it was trash content. I had long form videos at that same time that were trashing all my content videos, because it's like, I don't know. What are we doing? What are we doing? I don't know. I'm not doing that anymore. That's what I know. What I'm trying to do is more of this long form content. Hopefully it's some cool stuff. Maybe one day. I don't know. Like, I'll be honest. It's like Theo. Van. Is that it? Theo Van? Or is there more? It's like a German name or something. But yeah, dude, that guy, he's a cool dude, right? And he seems like it's pretty simple. It's just pretty simple. He's given the Theo Von. Theo Von, that's what it is. The Theo Von experience. The same thing with Joe Rogan. So it's like, I could see what the angle is that they're giving them the content that they're feeding is just who they are, or at least a version of who they are. Um, for me, I would say it's much more who I am, and it's much more raw, and um, I think that in itself kind of has a niche, um, or and then at the very least, for me, it's like I said, this is all like very therapeutic. I know that there's like no one listening. Okay, there's one person listening at this moment, but like that's cool. That's cool for me because I know there's going to be later, hours later, days later, years later, doesn't matter. Somewhere down the line, like people are going to see this content. Or I don't know, maybe not people, maybe space aliens or some kind of advanced super AI, which also would be cool. And it's like to that point too. It's like I want to share my human experience and with whoever and be seen. And so doing this, I have the full trust. Like it doesn't matter. I'm not worried that I only have one person tuning in right now. I like it. It doesn't matter to me. What matters is, or like, even if it was nobody, I'm saying, even if there was at this moment nobody was watching, it wouldn't matter to me because I still feel like the camera's on. The somebody out there will be, will give a shit, you know. And that's what that's. And even if not, I don't know. It's just, I'm glad that I'm doing this. I'm glad that I'm putting myself out there. Um, I think that I do have the intention to become like somewhat of an icon. I don't know. That'd be crazy, like the wire wrapping icon, or whatever. Um, Whatever happens, I do want, like, I want it to grow. I have a vision. I have a whole. I haven't figured out how to attach like the online aspect of it necessarily. It seems like that's one aspect of it, right? And it could go in tandem with the other aspect as two kind of like duality things, which is kind of how I see it right now. But I wonder too if there's a way to actually like splice them and merge them into like a hybrid one unit organization of like how I envision my community for my life. Like, I want to see not only like the best things for me, but everyone around me, my neighbors. I want to be in a place where my success equals the success of my neighbors. I want to see like the whole everybody. And it's funny. I say that out loud now, and I guess it kind of sounds egotistical in a way. Definitely, especially when you consider the whole like I just want to be seen, and I just want to be seen as like the hero, the white savior, as they might say. And I can see how that would be like terrible, but it's like also at the same time like fuck you, because it's like, so what? I shouldn't want to try to help people, because I'm like the white savior. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even gonna get into that. It's just that's some bullshit. Um, I just want to help, right? And I'm not even saying like it doesn't have to be like my dynasty or my kingdom. I just want to see, like, when I say my community, it's my community because it's like I'm in it. I am the community. But it's not like the community is all about me. It's like I just want like a unit or an organization where it's like everyone has a like mind. Everyone cares about like permaculture, sustainability, growing harmonically with all systems, with everyone around them as like a human unit, but also like with the nature, and also like with the externalities, with the neighboring neighbors and everything, for it all to be thriving. I think, don't we all want this? Maybe, but then maybe not, because then people like Mr. K who's just like in dismay. It's all hope is lost. That's fucked up. And it's, I guess, all right. I'll conclude all with this, that it's like I just need to get over myself and accept that this is one of the lost causes, right? My heart goes out to you. My heart goes out to you for the rest of your life, and for the rest of my life too. I'll hold you. I'll hold you in my heart dearly. Like you for me are a solid lesson. Like every human experience. That's another thing. Like every human experience for me is another opportunity, another lesson, an opportunity for another lesson. Or like shout out to my ex-boss, who told me, he gave me this speech that there are people in your life for three reasons. They're either in your life for a lesson, a blessing, or for life. And I don't, it's like, the thing is, what I love most about it is like I never argued with it. Well, uh I don't know if that's how I would say it, but I see that there are those people in my life, but I don't see why not one could be also another. Um, Although, I suppose if you want them in your life, they should be a blessing. And if you want your life to be a blessing, then you got to accept the lessons and not leave him in your life. Maybe that was like the whole part of it, and he never like really told me that. He kind of led me to draw my own conclusion. I don't know. Maybe that's part of the magic. Whew. But all right. Well, I feel good. I'm gonna clock out here. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for seeing me. And anytime, man. If you, man or woman or whatever, whoever you are, whatever you are, if you want to be seen, I've got eyes. All right. Peace.